Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, we're heading into a new trading week. Bitcoin is fighting with the 30K level again, which is here also at the same time the 78.6 retracement level that we did put onto the chart and a previous swing high. So obviously 30K is a critical level, but really key resistance is starting at these previous swing highs around 31K, and it goes all the way up to the June 2022 swing high that we had here, going all the way up to 32.2K. Basically, a break above that could lead to really significant FOMO. Yeah, we're basically at a point where it can either there are two pathways. So it's either going to complete this 5-wave pattern to the upside. I mean, there are more than two pathways, right? Don't misunderstand me, but you should know that when you've been watching these videos. The market can do anything. Now, the task of an analyst is to identify the most likely structures. And we have poor probabilities here because we haven't got an impulse of the lows. So we still have poor quality price action. But that poor quality price action gives me basically two likely scenarios. Either we complete here this 5-wave move to the upside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an ABC pullback. So basically a 1, 2 structure, which would sort of make sense because this is going to be strong resistance here. And my assumption is that Bitcoin is not forming an impulse and only a diagonal because of all the weight it has on its shoulders. Yeah, this is a head and shoulders pattern potentially, but it's got all this weight on its shoulders of this key resistance area that the price couldn't get above for more than a year. So this is, one key scenario. So it might do that 5th wave into the 31 to 32K range, into the resistance range, those previous highs. Basically here, key resistance is the July high, and then it gets rejected and pulls back in a wave 2. So this is one scenario. That would be a great breakout setup because then we have 5 waves up, 3 waves down. That confirms that a lasting low has been made on the 11th of September, and ideally it takes off. Or it miserably, spectacularly fails from here and breaks down all the way into our previous target area between 22 and 24K. These are the two scenarios, and there is one key pivot, one key support area that divides both scenarios. And that's the 27.6K level. That's the 61.8 retracement of the latest rally. We have to take that a little bit. We have to be flexible because we don't have an impulse here. So Elliott Wave is less predictive. Elliott Wave is very predictive in impulses, but we haven't seen an impulse in in Bitcoin for a long time. So we can use Elliott Wave as risk management tool and to understand when probabilities are shifting. So we have to be very flexible, and in a diagonal we have to be even more flexible. But a wave 4 that goes below the 61.8 retracement level is not reliable, and therefore we can use that level as decision point to say, okay, is this a wave 4 pullback and we get a 5th wave to the upside, or is it too deep for a reliable wave 4? Okay, so that's for me the key pivot that decides between, okay, is this the white wave count or the yellow one, which would be bearish, short-term bearish. We are bullish on Bitcoin. On the daily time frame, we are targeting 40 to 50K next. Remember, we did that already here in July. Then Bitcoin took a little bit of a scenic route, and now it's trying again. Very, very strong Bitcoin this year. It outperformed most asset classes. Now, that means we are leaning towards the white wave count at the moment, but I have no problem to change my opinion here. We have to do that because we have low probability price action. Okay, so it demands us to be flexible. But within this white wave count, okay, where do we stand? So first of all, I'm basically watching if we can get a wave 4 pullback here. If we get a wave 4 pullback, this might be another long trade opportunity from here. If we don't, and it pushes more directly into the region between 31 to 31.5K, I probably will assume that the wave 5 is already unfolding. That's not quite clear at this stage. So I currently, primarily within this scenario, assume that the wave 4 is due to start. There are different ways how this could play out. For example, the third wave could have been in here, and then we're dealing with wave 4, yes, but it's an A wave, it's a high B wave, and we're about to start the C wave to the downside. This is one scenario. Or wave 3 finished here, and we're about to see here an ABC pullback, but it's not very evident that it has started yet, okay? And this is support between 28,195 and 27,680, but support is not a target, so it doesn't need to come down all that much, okay? But we still need a somewhat reasonable wave 4 that's healthy, that might have the same length roughly as this wave 2. So we talk about maybe a week, okay? Maybe a week, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. And then we could get higher in the wave 5. So this is sort of what I'm watching between, okay, is this already wave 5 or is it still wave 3? Yeah, and I think it's going to be difficult again to get through here. If it does, it's now at a point where it can miserably fail as well, because it's forming a very, very nice head and shoulders pattern as well. Looks very symmetrical. Looks very corrective as it did on the way down. So yeah, it's extremely interesting at the moment, but very difficult price action, very difficult market. It gives us a unreliable structure because it's impulsive, so it's less predictive, as I said. Doesn't give us very clear count for very clear trading decisions. And I'm fully convinced that what I've been telling you for many, many months throughout this bear market is that the best strategy is really for most people just gradual accumulation. You know, anybody who's done gradual accumulation through this bear market has had a very, very good year in crypto, and their portfolios should be up significantly. Bitcoin outperformed a lot of altcoins this year. So it's been spot on, right? And it would have been, you would have avoided all the chop, yeah? And you could have made, I don't know, 100%, you know, if you really did a gradual accumulation from December, you know, absolutely. So it's been a fantastic year for Bitcoin, especially. And most altcoins have been poor performers, really. So it's been absolutely the right decision to focus on Bitcoin. It's also the most reliable crypto. So let's see if it's going to be the first one that's really going to take off here as well. So it's going to be a very, very interesting week. Looking forward to it. I think the scenarios should be clear. The relevant levels that we're watching next week are clear as well. So thanks a lot. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You can find the links in the description. There's additional content there every single day, some short-term updates, signals, stuff about mindset, and so on. And if you're interested in the membership, feel free to check it out. The links are in the description. You get access to a weekly live stream every week, every Sunday at 5 p.m. UTC. You get access to Discord and Telegram, the chat rooms, as well as educational content, lots of educational content. And as a gold member, you get access to short-term updates and signals, which can be very helpful in a situation like this. Always make sure you understand that we don't tell you to buy or sell, though, but we give you short-term market updates and the relevant pivot levels to watch. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.